My name is Juliet Carter. I'm 29 years old, and 72 hours ago, I became my twin sister. Not metaphorically, literally. I walked into her house, slept in her bed, and lived her nightmare so she wouldn't have to. Her husband Tom thought he was beating his quiet, submissive wife. He was wrong. I'm a corporate lawyer who's never lost a case, and by the time I was done with him, he'd lost everything. This is the story of how I made an abuser suffer, how I saved my sister's life, and how I proved that identical twins can be each other's most dangerous weapon. Loved this story? Smash like now. Subscribe for more drama bombs and drop your city in the comments. Let's see how worldwide this revenge hits. The call came at 11:47 p.m. on a Thursday. I was in my penthouse apartment in downtown, reviewing contracts for a merger worth $200 million, when my phone lit up with Cara's name. My twin sister. The one I hadn't seen in 3 months. Jules. Her voice was broken, barely a whisper. Please. I need you. Please come. I was in my car in under 2 minutes. The drive to the suburbs felt like hours. My mind raced through possibilities. Accident? Illness? Something with Selena? When Cara opened the door, I knew it was worse than anything I'd imagined. My identical twin stood there in a torn nightgown, her left eye swollen, completely shut, blood dried on her split lip. Rope burns circled both wrists like gruesome bracelets. Finger-shaped bruises covered her throat. Jesus Christ, Cara. Don't. She pulled me inside quickly, locked the door. Don't call the police. Please. He'll take Selena. He said he'll take my baby. We sat in my car in her driveway because she was too afraid to talk inside the house. And that's when she told me everything. 2 years. 2 years of hell while I was winning cases and making partner. Tom Bradley, real estate developer, charming, wealthy, started with control. Who she could see. What she could wear. Where she could go. Then came the shoves. The slaps. The punches. His mother Debs moved in a year ago, and it got exponentially worse. Debs didn't just enable the abuse, she orchestrated it. Psychological torture, gaslighting, telling Cara she was worthless, that she deserved it. Yesterday, Cara whispered, tears streaming down her face, Selena spilled her juice at breakfast. She's 3, Jules. 3 years old. And Tom grabbed her arms so hard he left bruises. When I tried to stop him, he tied my wrists to the bed frame and left me there for 6 hours. Something inside me shattered. Not broke, detonated. Pack a bag, I said. You and Selena are coming to my place. I can't. He'll find me. He has lawyers, money, connections. He said if I ever try to take Selena, he'll prove I'm an unfit mother. He'll win. I looked at my sister, my identical twin, my other half, and made a decision. Then we don't run. We switch. Chapter 2. The Swap. Becoming her. What? We're identical, Cara. Same face, same voice, same mannerisms. We used to fool everyone when we were kids, remember? This is different, Jules. This is 72 hours, I said. Give me 3 days. You stay at my apartment with Selena, where you're safe. I'll go into that house as you. And I'll make Tom Bradley regret every single thing he's done to you. He's dangerous. So am I. And I meant it. See, while Cara became an elementary school teacher, I became a corporate litigator who destroys Fortune 500 companies for a living. I spend my days in courtrooms, making grown men cry. And 3 nights a week, I train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I know how to break bones. I know pressure points. I know exactly how much force it takes to make someone stop fighting. Cara was silent for a long moment. Then, what are you going to do? Everything you couldn't. I'm going to document every crime he's committed. I'm going to record every threat. And then I'm going to give him a choice. Lose everything willingly, or lose it in prison. Friday morning, I walked through the door of the Bradley mansion. Tom was already at work. Debs was in the kitchen. I'd studied Cara's mannerisms, practiced her softer voice, memorized the way she hunched her shoulders to make herself smaller. You're up late, Debs said without looking at me. The breakfast dishes are still dirty. Tom hates coming home to a messy kitchen. I bit back my first instinct to tell her exactly where she could shove Tom's breakfast dishes and instead murmured, "I'll clean them now." "See that you do. And change your clothes. You look like you slept in those." I changed. And while I did, I placed the first hidden camera. Tom came home at 7 p.m., already 3 drinks deep. I deliberately burned dinner. Needed to see how fast he'd escalate. Didn't take long. "What the hell is this?" He shoved the plate away. "You can't even cook a steak properly?" Debs chimed in from the living room. "I've been telling you, Tom. She's useless." Tom stood up, and I saw it, the calculation in his eyes. He was deciding whether to hit me. I stayed seated, kept my eyes down like Cara would. Let him feel powerful. "Look at me when I'm talking to you." I looked up slowly. "You're pathetic," he said, stepping closer. "My mother was right. I should have married someone with an actual brain." His hand came up fast, the same hand that had hit my sister for 2 years. I caught his wrist mid-swing. The shock on his face was beautiful. Tom Bradley was 6 feet 1 inch, 190 pounds, used to overpowering a woman 20 pounds lighter than him. But I train. I'm strong. And I was ready. I squeezed his wrist, not enough to break it, but enough to make him wince. "Not tonight, Tom," I said quietly. "I've had a long day." I held his wrist for 3 seconds. Let him feel helpless. Let him understand something had changed. Then I released him and walked upstairs. Behind me, I heard Debs gasp. "What has gotten into her?" I smiled as I climbed the stairs. Let them wonder. Chapter 4. The Mother. Psychological Warfare. Day 2 started with Debs trying to reassert control. She cornered me in Selena's room while I was making the bed. "We need to talk about your behavior last night." I didn't look up. "What about it?" "You embarrassed Tom. In his own home. That's unacceptable." "Is it?" "Don't use that tone with me." She stepped closer, using her physical presence to intimidate. "I've been patient with you, Cara. I've tried to help you become a better wife. But you're making it very difficult." I straightened up, met her eyes. "You've been stealing from me." Debs went pale. "What?" "My inheritance. The money my parents left me when they died. $300,000. You've been siphoning it out of the account for the past year." That's absurd." I pulled out my phone, showed her the screen. Bank statements. Wire transfers. All traced back to an account in Debs's name. I'm a very thorough person, Debs. I found everything. Her face transformed from shock to cold fury. "You little bitch. You think you're smart? You think you can threaten me?" "Not a threat. A fact. Give it back, or I report it." She slapped me. I didn't even flinch. "Feel better?" I asked calmly. Then I grabbed her wrist, twisted it behind her back, basic compliance hold, and walked her to the door. "Get out of my house." "This is Tom's house." "No. This house is in Cara's name. Check the deed. Now get out." I released her and shut the door. Heard her on the other side, breathing hard, furious. Good. Let her be furious. Chapter 5. The Partner. When they send muscle. That evening, Tom's business partner showed up. Bradley Cole. Stupid name for a stupid man. He was big, 6 feet 3 inches, probably 220 pounds. Former college linebacker. Tom had clearly sent him to intimidate me. "Tom's worried about you, Cara," Bradley said, blocking my path in the hallway. "Says you've been acting strange. Out of character." "Has he?" "Yeah. And between you and me, I think you need to remember your place." He put his hand on my shoulder. Heavy. Threatening. "Take your hand off me." "Or what?" I grabbed his thumb, bent it backward, sudden, vicious, and when he instinctively pulled away, I drove my palm into his nose. Heard the cartilage crack. Bradley stumbled back, blood pouring down his face, eyes watering. "What the? You broke my nose. Touch me again, and I'll break more than that." He ran. Actually ran out of the house, holding his face. I calmly walked to the kitchen, washed my hands, and waited. Chapter 6: The Trap. They make their move. That night, I overheard them through the hidden microphones. Tom, Debs, and Bradley in the master bedroom. "She's lost her mind," Tom said. "We need to do something before she gets violent." "We should call the police," Bradley suggested, nasally, because of his broken nose. "No," Debs said. "Police ask questions. We need something cleaner." "What do you suggest, Mother?" "Tomorrow morning. Put sleeping pills in her coffee. Once she's unconscious, we call mental health services. Tell them she's had a psychotic break. Became violent. They'll take her to the psychiatric hospital for evaluation. And while she's gone," Tom added, "I file for emergency custody of Selena. Cite mental instability. By the time she gets out, if she gets out, I'll have full custody and she'll have nothing." They actually laughed. I recorded every word. Morning came. I watched Debs crush 4 pills into my coffee cup. Watched her stir it, smiling. I took the cup, brought it to my lips, pretended to drink. Then poured it into the plant behind me when she turned away. I sat on the couch, let my head drop forward, slowed my breathing. "It's working," Tom whispered. "Give it 5 more minutes," Debs said. I kept my eyes closed, body limp. Felt Tom check my pulse. "She's out cold. Make the call." That's when I opened my eyes and sat up. All 3 of them jumped back like I'd risen from the dead. "I didn't drink it," I said calmly. "I watched you crush the pills, Debs. Watched you stir them in. Recorded all of it." Tom's face went white. "Who, what?" I stood up, pulled out my phone, played the audio from last night. Their voices, clear as day, plotting to drug and institutionalize me. "Attempted forcible detention," I said. "Conspiracy to commit fraud. Filing false psychiatric reports. That's 10 to 15 years. You can't." "I can. I'm Juliet Carter, criminal defense attorney, and I've spent 72 hours documenting every single crime you've committed." Chapter 7: The Reckoning. Justice delivered. I pulled out 3 folders from my bag, threw them on the coffee table. Medical records. 3 years of Cara's emergency room visits. Broken ribs. Concussions. All explained away as accidents. Tom reached for the folders. I slapped his hand away. Photos. Time-stamped, geotagged. Bruises, burns, wounds. All documented. Video footage from the hidden cameras I installed. You hitting her, choking her, threatening her. And audio recordings. Every threat. Every instance of you 2 plotting against her. Debs was crying now. Real tears. "You have 2 choices," I said. "Option 1. I take this to the DA Monday morning. You're both looking at 25 years minimum. Domestic violence, assault, child endangerment, attempted kidnapping, conspiracy, fraud. Option 2. You sign these divorce papers. Right now. Cara gets full custody of Selena. You pay $500,000 in child support. Cara keeps this house. It's in her name anyway. You both accept permanent restraining orders. 500 feet minimum. And Tom? Your business partners get copies of the financial records showing you've been embezzling from the company. Good luck keeping your job." Tom was shaking. "You can't do this." I just did. I pulled out the papers, set them on the table with a pen. "Sign. Or I make 1 phone call and you're both in handcuffs." Tom signed. Every page. His hand trembled the entire time. Debs signed her agreement without a word. When it was done, I gathered the papers. "You have 24 hours to vacate this house. Take your belongings. Nothing that belongs to Cara or Selena." But where? Not my problem. I walked to the door, opened it. Cara was standing there. Next to her, a sheriff's deputy. Tom saw both of us, identical twins, side by side, and the realization crashed over him. "You've been played," I said, "for 3 days straight. And now you know exactly how it feels to be helpless." We walked away, left him standing in the doorway of a house that was no longer his. 3 months later, Cara is thriving, teaching again, smiling again, Selena laughs without fear. Tom lost his job when the embezzlement evidence went public. Lost his reputation. Lost everything. Debs is living with her sister in another state. And me? I learned that sometimes the law isn't enough. Sometimes you have to become the weapon your sister needs. I'm Juliet Carter. And I'd do it all over again.